Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Waharaka Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And these hypocrites, man, these demons, all right, it says, I was saved. All right, this is Trump. Trump opens up about his relationship with God and how his faith grew even stronger after he survived an assassination attempt, which I believe that our whole thing was set up. It was a psychological operation. Because if they really wanted Trump dead, first of all, killing him in front of all the people would have just turned him into a martyr. These people have heart attack guns. They got trained assassins. But if you want to believe that, then you could believe it. I don't believe it. All right. No man gets shot at. And in the middle of the event, right, stick your head up for a flipping photo op. Like ridiculous, like some Hollywood shit. That's not real reality. And the Secret Service let him do that. They let him stick his head out when they shouldn't have any idea how many shooters there are. What they should be doing is getting him as low to the ground as possible, right, and getting his ass out of there ASAP. But conveniently, they let him stick his head right up above them all to take a photo to signal the crowd in the middle of a shooting, right? And people think that makes sense. All right, then. But anyway, it says how his faith grew even stronger after he survived an assassination attempt during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And it says, I believed in God, but now something happened. So his thing is, they were pushing that he was saved by God. It's a miracle. He's the Messiah. He's the chosen one. Satan tried to kill him and all this bullshit. And that's why they did it. It was a psychological operation to whip these dumb right-wing Christians into a frenzy, all right, to get them to believe in him, all right. It's more hypocrisy because this man is Satan, and I'm going to show you that he ain't no Christian and he don't believe in the God of the Bible. You can't believe in the God of the Bible and become American president. See, the problem is that the average person doesn't understand the world they live in because you're not initiated, you're not inducted, so you don't understand what's happened, the things that are happening around you, and how they operate in the world of witchcraft. The position of being a president isn't just an administrative position. It's also a very occultic position. All right. He was inaugurated, right, under Satan. And that whole inauguration was wicked as hell. It always is. And his one, it was done in the rotunda under all the Roman idols. People gonna pretend like that they didn't see it because they don't understand these things. All right, here's another one of the idols here. It says breaking, the White House is declaring a holy week, right, as President Trump plans to honor Easter. And there ain't nothing holy about Easter. And they know this. See, the average person might not know, but these people who are versed in the occult, right, who are initiated, they know exactly what Easter represents. They know exactly who this person represents, right? They're not ignorant to these things. Trump knows what this is all about. All right. Trump deals with the occult, man. He's a Kabbalist. All right. You have to be. You have to, man. You don't get up in this man's society unless you play the game, man, the witchcraft game. All right? You don't get to be president because you're righteous and holy. Quite the opposite. You have to do the rituals. All right? Here it is, Trump saying, one day when my Kabbalah teacher, Ethan Yardeni, asked how I was doing. So this guy was trained in the Kabbalah. All right, which if you know anything about that, that's just occultism straight up right there. All right. He's going on about this golden age. Where do you think that comes from? The worship of Saturn. Let me show you something. You had Trump talking about that golden age. Now the golden age is linked in with Saturn, an age ruled by Saturn, which is Satan. It also links in with the age of Aquarius, which goes back to Theosophy. All right. It's all occultism, the golden age. Right? It's occultic speech. And here you have it on The Economist on the front cover where they had the world ahead. Because, you know, they have a lot of this shit planned out. What do you see right at the top of that? Saturn. Right in the middle, you've got Trump. You see the one eye there as well. You got the other actors that's involved, right? And then you got the Saturn right at the top. All right. The golden age, you look it up, says in mythology, the golden age is associated with Saturn, right? You got the Saturnalian Brotherhood. That's why the judges wear the all black, right? Particular in Roman traditions, all right, which America's Rome all over again. Rome was heavily occultic. This era is depicted as a time of great peace, abundance, and prosperity ruled by Saturn, all right? And like I said, that he got inaugurated, which means you consecrate a thing, right? In the rotunda, right? Under the apotheosis, right, of George Washington with all the Roman idols. These people are witches, man. They're warlocks. Okay? They're witches and warlocks. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Right? You see the image of Jesus there, right? That's Satan. There is no great thing, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed into the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their own works. All right? Now these men are talking about pushing Easter. All right? Now you might say, but Easter's in the Bible. No, it's not. Easter's not in the Bible. Right? So if we go here, right, it says Acts 12 and 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison. This is Paul, right? Sorry, not Paul, Peter. He put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Right? Now, this is the only place in the scriptures you're going to see the English word Easter. All right. Now, if you go in to the Greek, where the English translation is supposed to come from, what you see there in the Greek is Pascha, which goes back to Pesach. So it ain't no Easter. What's supposed to actually be there, right, is the Passover, right? And it's actually translated as the Passover 28 times, and only once is it translated as Easter, which is erroneous. It shouldn't be no Easter in any translation, because Easter is not biblical. The Passover is biblical. All right? Easter is a corruption. Ashtar, the Easter is a cultic. It's idolatry. It comes from evil. And that's why they're pushing it. And they know that. People like Trump, and they're versed, like I said, they're versed in the occult. They understand where these things come from. They understand where Christmas comes from. It's the average people who don't know. They're ignorant. And every year they have their Easter egg hunt. But why is there an egg at Easter? Again, because it goes back to the fertility goddess, Ashtar. All right, Ceramis. This is nothing but wickedness.
A 9-year-old girl who had an idea, and she just had to write the president about it. It got her an invite to the White House with some unexpected guests, too.
And this 9-year-old girl is probably the child of a bunch of witches and warlocks. All right, ain't no random 9-year-old girl. She's probably the child of a bunch of witches and warlocks, masons and whatnot. Yeah, people are gonna find out, man.
The president was reading Where the Wild Things Are. They were screaming about something else.
Oh, no, it's a bee.
Oh, it's a bee, the president said. He kept going, even looking to his team. But somewhere in that crowd was someone else, braving the bees and brave enough to do something else. The reason she was at the White House was this letter. 9-year-old Sophia.
Whatever. Right, so they do these Easter. There we go.
It's an iconic
Easter
DC
bunny.
tradition, the annual White House Easter egg roll and egg hunt. I've got my hands on one of those eggs that kids are looking for.
Where is this at the Passover? This has got nothing to do with the scriptures. This is all occultism, right?
Or look to
Dressed
my
up.
left here, and you'll see here on the South Lawn, we've got thousands of kids walking around looking for these eggs. By the end of the day, they're going to have some 30,000 people come through here at the White House. Littering the South Lawn, you'll find Easter eggs awaiting thousands of kids who make notoriously short interviews. What do you have in your hands there?
Yeah, it's all wickedness, man. Wickedness. And they know, like I said, they know where all this stuff goes back to. It's just the majority of the people, they're in darkness. They have no idea. All right. But guess what? That just shows you that the spirit of the Lord and the spirit of Yahweh Shai, man, ain't dealing with these Christians. Because if the spirit was dealing with these Christians, they wouldn't be able to be deceived, right, into partaking in occultism. They wouldn't be deceived into Christmas and Easter and all these different things, because the spirit would reveal it. The only way that they can do these things ignorantly is if they're ignorant, and ignorance represents darkness, right? Because if you ask the average Christian to explain Easter, they're gonna give you the BS story. Oh, it's about the resurrection. No, it's not. Because show me in the scriptures where that is. If you tell them to explain Christmas, they're gonna give you the BS version. So they're in darkness. They have no idea what it is that they're partaking in. They're in darkness, right? But if you're really come into this thing, you're supposed to be coming out of darkness into light, right? 1 Peter 2:9, it says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praise of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." But nobody is shrouded in more darkness than these Christians, because the scriptures is darkened to them, the understanding of the scriptures is darkened to them, and they're partaking in all kinds of satanic and occultic feast days, and they're none the wiser. How is that possible if you receive the marvelous light? You don't have the light. You're in darkness. And that's what we're trying to tell you. That if you are a Christian, you are in darkness. You have not received the light. If you were getting ready to celebrate Easter, you're in darkness, man. All right. Simple as that. All right. America isn't a land which is under the vibration of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it never has been. America has and always has been under the vibration of Satan from the very beginning. Darkness. America has always been under the vibration of darkness. They operate through lies and deceit and hidden things. Occultism. Right? Everything they do is occultism. The flag, the buildings they build, the roads, everything they do is shrouded in darkness, man. Even on down to this madness. This is great darkness right here. And it's sick to watch, but that's how it's supposed to be. That's why the Bible says, talks about the congregation of the hypocrites being made desolate. Because America is just filled with hypocrites, man. And this guy, Donald Trump, he's a hypocrite. He's an actor. He's a charlatan. And it's not just him. They all are. All these characters that they put up on the TV, bunch of witches and warlocks, occultists, Satanists. All right, and they told her they believe in God. Which God? All right. So wake up, man. If you're a so-called Christian, man, it's time to wake up, man, because you ain't awake. Now you could choose to be ignorant. That's fine. You can be willfully ignorant. That's fine. You're just gonna be destroyed in your ignorance, in your willful ignorance, man, because you don't want to know the truth. You reject the truth and choose lies. Then you're gonna be destroyed. But people like Donald Trump, he knows the truth. He knows what Easter's all about. He knows what the golden age is all about that he keeps spewing. And he knows why he wears all that orange makeup on his damn face. All right, we know the occultic symbolisms that he promotes. All right, but not just him; they all do it. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.